Hello everybody, welcome to yet another edition of Motown India show on YouTube. In this edition we shall be talking about the new Hyundai iMT or Intelligent Manual Transmission that now comes as an option with the Venue compact SUV from Hyundai Motor India. The iMT is an industry first and it is for the first time a passenger vehicle in India has come out with such a transmission. Before we go any further, let me tell you that Hyundai Venue comes with three engine options. A 1.2 litre Kappa petrol, which has again only an option for a 5-speed manual transmission. Then we have the 1 litre Kappa Turbo GDI petrol engine, which has an option of a 6-speed manual transmission, a 7-speed dual clutch transmission or DCT, and the new 6-speed intelligent manual transmission or iMT. The third engine option available is the 1.5 litre U2 CRDI diesel, which only comes with a 6-speed manual transmission. The iMT has been provided only for the 1 litre Kappa turbo petrol engine variants that include the SX and SXO. Both these variants again have an additional variant that goes by the name Dual Tone Sport. Thus in total there are 4 variants that come with this new iMT. So how does a Dual Tone Sport differ from its counterpart? This Dual Tone Sport variant has a few sporty elements that are clearly marked in red. It's all over the car, both inside as well as outside in tiny bits, whether it is the dash of red on the wheel arches, red brake calipers for the front discs, the plus sign in red on the front grille, the red line running across the bottom of the door, a dash of red on one side of the roof rails, etc. As you move inside, you get to see the red bits on the air conditioner knobs, the air vents both in front and rear, the seats, the steering wheel cover, the gear knob cover, etc. Apart from the words turbo and the variant name displayed at the rear of the vehicle, for the sport variant you also get a neat sport nameplate on the C-pillar. To understand an iMT, you need to understand there are 2 broad categories of transmissions for a car, manual and automatic. Manual transmissions are either 4-speed or 5-speed or 6-speed and so forth. Similarly, automatic transmissions also have different speed categories. In a manual transmission, one has to change gears manually, and to do so, one has to operate the clutch pedal on the floor. Each time you need to change the gear, you need to depress the clutch pedal. In an automatic, there is no clutch pedal, and in order to shift to higher gears and pick up speed, all you have to need is to press the accelerator pedal after shifting the gear lever to the D or drive mode. Automatic vehicles do not have a clutch pedal. Many modern automatic transmissions also come with manual mode, wherein you can shift the lever from D mode and engage the plus and minus to downshift or upshift the gears manually. Some automatic vehicles also have paddle shifts on either side of the steering wheel, where you can with your hands tug at the plus and minus paddle shifts to change gears manually while driving. But in such cases, the manual intervention is limited, and the moment you start making mistakes, the system overrides the manual function. So where does an iMT fit in? Here too there is no clutch. Does that mean it is an automatic or a manual? Well, it has the best of both the worlds because it still has manual gear shifts and no clutch pedal. There is no D or drive mode as we get in a fully automatic vehicle. My take is that those who have been driving manual transmission cars can get the hang of the iMT better. Why do I say that? Because when you drive a car with manual gear, we understand the art of changing our gears from one level to another, forward and backward at different speeds and different RPM levels. A person trained only to drive an automatic car may not get the hang of driving an iMT so easily, though the car's electronics and indicators do help the driver to drive to the best of his ability. That is why it is called an intelligent manual transmission. So what is it like driving a car with manual gears and no clutch? Since I have driven both automatics and manuals, I was confident driving the iMT version. The iMT version does away with the clutch pedal, and hence the mistake one makes while changing gears while depressing the clutch pedal are totally eliminated with the iMT. Issues like getting the clutch burned or sloppy use of clutch or even damaging the clutch while keeping it half depressed are not at all there in this iMT model. To get an iMT Venue started, you have to slot the gear in neutral or else it will not start. Then onwards, it is like driving a manual vehicle. Once you slot it into first gear and do not press the accelerator, the car moves slowly or crawls. This is ideal while driving in very slow moving traffic. Also, while driving the Venue with iMT, you realize that as you shift from one gear to another, there are no jerks, which one can experience while driving a vehicle with the use of clutch. Moreover, the gear shifts are smooth. Moving from one gear to another, forward or backward, is all done electronically through signals that are sent to the actuators that in turn direct the clutch to work its role. Hyundai's iMT technology features a transmission gear shift or TGS lever with intention sensor, hydraulic actuator and transmission control unit TCU. Now let me tell you about the intelligent nature of this transmission, since Hyundai insists on calling it an intelligent manual transmission. Let me take you through some of the issues regarding gear changes. 1. If you were to try starting the car in a gear position other than neutral, the MID screen displays the info asking you to move the lever to neutral. Remember, the car only starts if the gear is in neutral position. Situation 2. Once you put in the first gear and the car picks up speed as you accelerate, the screen message asks you to move up to the next gear. So that's really cool. So it works both ways while upshifting and downshifting. Messages on the screen indicate to you when to change to higher or lower gear as the case may be. Situation 3. Another situation worth understanding is when you move into higher gears and you have to stop suddenly for some reason. You simply apply the brakes. The engine does not shut off, but from that stationary position, when your gear is on any level above 2, you try to move the car by pressing the accelerator, you realize the car does not move. So applying the same principles of a manual transmission, you have to slot it to the lower gear like 1 or 2 and then accelerate. The car begins to move. Again, the instructions to move to a lower gear are displayed on the MID screen for you to see and execute. A warning beep sound is also there to tell you that you are making a mistake. What happens if a driver were to engage 4 directly from level 1 while driving? Well, in that case, the intelligent transmission intervenes and tries to either warn you with a beep sound or it corrects the course if it is possible. Similarly, from a higher level, if one were to shift to a lower level and the speeds allow that, then the iMT raises the RPM accordingly and lets the car move in the lower gear. Impressed? Well, that in short is the intelligent manual transmission, which through its warnings, through beeps and instruction on the MID screen helps you to navigate. Hyundai is the first auto company in the country to introduce the iMT. The closest that one got to the word manual without clutch was when companies introduced the AMT or automated manual transmission in its cars. But then again, AMT is a lot different from iMT, both in technology and in price. Talking of price, the SXO iMT is only expensive than the manual variant by a mere 23,500 rupees. But if you compare the price difference between a DCT and a manual, the former is expensive by as much as rupees 1,14,000. So who could be the buyers of an AMT version of Venue? Obviously, it would be for those who want to get rid of the clutch but still don't mind shifting gears. It's like enjoying the best of both the worlds, the automatic and the manual.